Hello, how are you? This is Elska Nuke Bemis Crafted Corner. Today we're going to be doing this little project. And this is a see-through pocket. So I'm going to give you the measurements for this one, which is 5 by 3 1/4. But when we're done, you'll be able to figure out how to do it in any size you need. You know, if you want to do it on the side of a page as opposed to across the bottom of a page. But it's a little see-through pocket. See, you can see the little card in there. So I'm going to show you how to do this real quick, and you know, maybe we'll decorate, who knows. But I'm going to get everything out and show you. I'll be right back. Okay, supplies for this one: a ruler, preferably a see-through one that you can, you know, read the measurements on. If you don't have that and you have a board, that'll work with a regular ruler. You just have to be a little bit more careful. Tape and glue, a craft knife, a pencil, paper that you're going to want to put in your background, or washi tape, or stamping. It could be a book page maybe you want to use in the back, whatever you want to use. Some vellum. Now, if you have printed vellum, that would work as well, and it would actually be kind of cool to use some printed vellum. Then you're going to want some cardstock. You don't need, this does not need to be 110. This can be your regular 65-pound cardstock. We're going to go ahead and get started here in just a second. I'm going to clear some stuff out of the way. Obviously, we're going to need our trimmer, scissors, those types of things. So I'm going to get this out of the way, and I'll come back and we'll get started kind of cutting our pieces. I'll be right back. All right, so we're going to want 3 pieces of cardstock here. So 3 1/4 by 5. Those are the measurements I'm going to give you. You can change this as you need to, okay? Three 1/4. 5. And then I'm going to use a piece of cardstock for my front piece. So let's see what I got. Well, I have that left over. It's about the right, you know, it's a good size. As long as it's 5, we can make it. Okay. 5. And we want this to be 3 1/4. Okay, so those are our base pieces. Now, I'm going to do a background, and I want to do that with some book page. So I'm just going to cut this down. Cut the other way so I get a straight line. All right, 3 1/4. And we want this to be 5, and we're well over that. So I'm going to take a little bit off here, and then I'll take the rest off the other side. All right, so that's those. And then we want a piece of vellum. Now for this one, we want this to be at 3 by 4 3/4. So 1/4 inch smaller all the way around, okay? That's it for the cutting with the trimmer. We'll be back to do a little detail cutting. I mean, that's what we're going to use our craft knife for. So I'm going to go ahead and get the cutter out of the way and get out my ruler and my craft knife, and we're going to get started on this, okay? I'll be right back. Good. All right, so we're not going to be cutting our vellum, so we're just going to put that to the side. We're not going to be cutting the page that we're going to be using as background. We are going to be cutting our front and the backer for our front. So those are the 2 pieces we want, okay? And what we're going to do is turn them upside down and put them on our grid board. And we need to make a line about 3/4 inch in and about 3/4 inch, you know, all the way around. So this is going to be our window. Sorry about my head. Okay. So that's going to be our window. So what we want to do is line these two pieces up, and we're going to cut them at the same time. All right, I'm going to use a metal ruler for this. So I'm just going to put my ruler there. And I'm going to cut from that line to that line. 2 passes to make sure I get all the way through. And then I'm going to do this one over here. Again, from my top line to my bottom line. If you go a little over, it's okay. All right? Then we're going to turn it this way. We're going to do the same thing on the other lines. So we're cutting that window out. So now, we're going to go ahead and take that window out. And if you need to snip it with your scissors, by all means do that. So now we're done with these pieces. And we have this. Okay? Just like that. So this is where we're going to be putting the vellum. All right? So I'm going to get my craft knife put away so I don't cut myself, because I will. If anybody can drop that on the floor and stab themselves, it'll be me. So I'm going to get this put away, and then when I come back, we're going to get started using the tape and the vellum, and we're going to get this put together. I'll be right back. So what I have here is my 1/2 inch tape, and I'm just going to turn this over, okay? And then I'm going to bring in my piece of vellum, and I'm going to put my tape all down the outside edges. Grab my achy stickies. Here we go. There. Here. It's a little more difficult than it looks, because you got to get it, you know, in the right spot. And then down this side. And across this side. Okay, so once we have that on there, to release it, we'll go ahead and kind of go over it with our bone folder. And that just helps to make it, you know, a little easier to get the backing off. And it's okay if you went a little over, because you can just fold that back. It's not going to matter, okay? So let's go ahead and pull off our backing. One. Come on. Ooh. Hey. 3 and 4. So once we have these off, we're going to take our top piece, we're going to line this up, we're going to make sure that the tape is not showing, and we're going to put that down, okay? And I'm going to go over it with my bone folder just to make sure that I've got it well and good, okay? And then I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to glue all across my edges. I want to make sure that I get as close to the edge as I can. And then on the actual vellum where my tape is. Now you could add tape to this if you wanted to here. That is entirely up to you. And then I'm going to take my other piece and I'm going to fold that onto this, lining up all my edges and corners. Get that all pressed on there nice and flat and make sure that it's well secured. Okay, now I'm going to let that dry, and if I need to, you know, I can trim it up a little bit. So I'm going to let this dry, and then when I come back, we're going to work on the back piece. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm going to be using this book page, and I want to kind of stamp on it. So I have some of my stamps that are, they're like, sort of like wallpaper background, you know? And so I'm going to use a couple of different inks, and I'm doing this in my press so that if I want to do it again, I can. Okay. Let's see what we get. Oh, it needs more. It needs much, much more. There. And they're new stamps too, so that could be an issue. I don't really want this heavy, but I just want it to be seen. Otherwise, why would I use a see-through? There we go. All right. So now I have those. And I can put this away. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. All right, so I have my background. And nothing else is really going to show here. But I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I ink it all the way around. Just in case there's a little bit, you know, you want to be able to make that disappear. I want to grunge it a little bit. And then I'm going to glue this down to here. Now I am using glue because this is going to hold the weight of the pocket. And again, you know, if for any reason my line is off, just use your scissors to trim it, because let's face it, we don't always put the paper in the exact same spot every time we trim on our paper trimmer. All right, so let's get this kind of laid in there. There we go. Make sure you don't have any dirty words. All right, so that's it. Now let's bring this back out. And very quickly, we're just going to find the center of this. And we know that it's 5 inches, so we're looking for 2.5, which is right there. And I'm going to go ahead and put a mark there because that's where I'm going to pop my little finger pull. You do not need to put a finger pull in this if you don't want to. I want to. Okay? Then I'm going to ink this all the way around. Now, if I wanted to ink the inside, I should have done that before I glued it down, but, you know, I don't want to ink it. And if I do, honestly, I can just go kind of like do this, you know, doesn't really matter. Just kind of ink through. I know, I'm so messy. But I'll tell you why. Because what I'm using is you know, Timmy's inks, and they rub off, so you know. All right, so now I'm going to find my top, which is up here, and then on this I'm going to glue on 3 sides. Where's my glue? There it is. Down this side, across the bottom. Nobody's going to see all these lines, remember that. And up the top. There we go. And then I'm going to put this on here and line that up. And again, if I need to trim anything, I can, you know. So now I'm going to let this dry, okay? I like to go over it with my bone folder because I like to make sure that I get that glue well spread in there. There we go. And that is a see-through pocket, okay? So I'm going to clear my desk and I'll be right back. Okay, so I found some washi tape and I just added a little washi tape to this. I cut the card at about 4 inches, so 3 3/4 for the inside by 3, so 2 3/4 for the width. And I'm not worried about putting anything on the back because it's still a light enough color to be able to write on, so I'm not real worried about that. And now we've got to do some decorating because we've got, you know, we have stuff. So I have some butterflies, and I just want to put one on here. So I'm just going to trim one of these out real quick. And this is a rub-on, so I don't have to do any fussy cutting. Okay, where are we going to put it? Right there. I think we'll put it at the bottom. Okay, so we got that. We're just going to go ahead and rub that on. Take this off very slowly because we want to make sure that we actually got, you know, got it to transfer. A little bit there. Okay, so we got that on. And then I want to do something on this. I just don't know what I want to do on here. So let me put this over here for now. And let's take a look. So we have this and we can do something. I have an idea. Let's see. I'm going to pick one of these. I don't even need to cut these. Just pull one of these up. And I'm going to put it right there on the vellum. You know? And then put the card inside. And there it is. Our little see-through pocket. We got a little flower going on there. Cutesy. Alright. So I'm going to clean up, and then when I come back, we'll take a real good look at the finished item. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's our original one. This is kind of the prototype, so, you know, nothing fancy. Just a project life card, you know. And I left this one out a little bit because I wanted to see what it looked like with it coming out, you know, and I don't like it. But that's the original. Washi tape on the inside. There's no liner on this one, which is another thing that I really don't like about it. So this is the final, and in here is a nice journaling card. It's done very nicely on the inside. It has a full back and a nice mountable back piece. And if you're going to just tuck this in someplace, you could just add, you know, white paper back here instead of the black cardstock. You know, you can use any color you want. I just chose black because I'm going to glue this in and use it as a pocket. So, but that's it. That's my project for today. If you have any comments, go ahead and put them in the comment section below. And if you'd like, you could reach out to me via social media. And what else? Check out the Facebook group. Take a look at the community tab. You might want to skip on over and check out a 7-day free membership on my Patreon. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.